makes a boss great? It's its difficulty, the flair, the amount of skin exposure.
No, Drips, you're not Marvel Rivals, you're not Marvel Rivals, you're not Marvel Rivals.
This is Melania. She's the hardest boss in Elden Ring. DLC doesn't count. And she is a legend, literally. This boss has inspired fan animations, cosplays, and even a song. A song? Oh shit. And despite making grown adults rage harder than a kid at 7-Eleven, she's still regarded as one of the best bosses to ever grace our screens. But what makes a boss great? Well, first, let's start with what makes a boss good. There's 3 reasons why. Number 1, it's gonna be hard.
That's what she said.
And Melania isn't just hard, she's impossible. Not only does she have one of the hardest attacks to dodge, but if she hits you, she heals. She's not like other bosses. You can't just chug potions and brute force your way through. Whether you like it or not, you have to learn her moves. And the devs know this. That's why they made sure you hear this line on repeat.
I am Melania, Blade of Mikola, and I have never known defeat.
Yeah, I know.
But if difficulty was all it took, then a ton of bosses would be great. The second thing a good boss needs
Is to change the pace.
if you ever played Gears of War, you know about the Berserker. For the first time in the game, you can't just shoot your way through. You have to dodge and position the enemy just right to get it outside. Then you unleash the freaking sun on it, leaving it like every idiot who forgets sunscreen. And forgetting your sunscreen is no joke. One minute you're chilling and the next you smell like burned hot dog water and your skin's screaming louder than you are, and that totally didn't happen to me. And finally, good bosses move the story forward. In God of War, no, not that one. Yes, that one. Kratos fights this hippie early on. Their fight is basically the video game version of that one chicken scene from Boondocks.
I was raised in a broken and abusive household.
This chicken is cold.
And my boy Kratos gets beaten worse than I did as a child for not showering. He tries to be calm, to not make things worse. And if you play the old God of War games, you know Kratos used to be all like... But this boss fight shows how much Kratos has changed, and it sets up the emotional conflict for the rest of the game. And if you're sharper than your average Fortnite playing 7th grader, you'll notice good bosses don't need all 3 of these things. Being good at just one is enough. Melania doesn't really break the pace, and she doesn't push the story forward, at least not in a way players really notice. But things are more complicated than they seem, because even if you follow the formula, good bosses can still suck. Mario games are the perfect example. They check every box. They usually take more skill than regular levels, they change things up from platforming to arena style fights, and sometimes they even help tell a story, like Bowser or some shit. I remember this story. But even though the bosses check the boxes, they all feel like stomp, stomp, stomp. That's it. I'm recording! Nintendo! Don't! You could say they're almost good bosses, but almost is not enough. You see, making a boss fight by just following a formula is like making a cake from a recipe. You might use the right ingredients, flour, sugar, eggs, frosting, but that doesn't mean it'll taste good. Without care, creativity, and understanding of what makes each part shine, you end up with something technically correct, but bland. But let's say the devs have more neurons than your high school bully. What separates the good bosses from the great? Apart from the stuff we already covered, a great boss needs a combination of 3 extra things. Here's a hint. They're all in this next clip.
No! No!
Did you notice it? If not, feel free to rewind that video, giving me more watch time and more money for me to buy chocolate milk. The answer was boom, boss stages. Great bosses don't go down easy. They keep evolving, changing, upping the stakes. Melania has 2 faces, but some games take it too far. In Twilight Princess, the final fight with Ganon has 4 faces. Yeah, like 2 + 2 = 4 type shit. You got the Battle of the Furies. Look at me, I'm different. Dark Lord Ganondorf. And finally, Extreme Wii Tennis. But what else does Melania have? The right song doesn't just give you hype, it sets the tone, it tells you how to feel. Because when the dust settles, you won't always remember the combos you pull off, but you'll remember the rush, the tension, the goosebumps. That's what sticks. Don't believe me? Check out how a good song can make anything cooler. And finally, the last thing that makes a boss truly great, uniqueness. Something that separates them from every other boss. I've noticed there are two ways to do this. Systems, like Mr. Freeze in Batman Arkham City. If you never played, Mr. Freeze adapts to your tactics. You can't use the same trick twice. Stealth, explosions, electricity, you have to constantly change your strategy to beat him. Or you could go ape shit crazy. Like, that is huge. You have to be satisfied after that. It's too much to take in. You're literally dancing in his hand. And if you think that's big, don't get me started on the drug-fueled fever dream that is Asura versus Buddha. Just how? Why? And that's what makes a great boss great. And in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.